I'm Bob Evans. I came here as a freshman in 1969. It was in Texas A&M, was in the Corps, and I went to fish camp before school started. And so at fish camp I met Dr. Bain. He had just become the pastor here at First Baptist Church, and he had come to fish camp to meet folks and stuff. And so I met him, and so I decided to come to this church. Number one, because it was right off of Northgate at that time, and I didn't have a car, so it was easy to walk to church and back and forth. So I chose that because it was the closest Baptist church that we had to the campus. So anyway, Malcolm, if you know him, he had real short hair, had a crew cut, which looked like the rest of us fished. And so we'd always call him Fish Bane, still call him Fish Bane to this day. So that was a good time, I had a fun time. I remember one of his trademarks was when the Aggies, on Sunday morning after the sermon, he would always have a poem about the Aggie game. Sometimes it was good and sometimes it was bad. And I was thinking today it'd be nice if I could find some of those old tapes that we had, or if he ever kept all those poems about the Aggies winning or the Aggies losing or however they turned out. Would have been kind of fun to publish those if he still got them around. So anyway. So that was a good time. I had enjoyed the Aggie class. We were a fairly good-sized group back in those days. Met several upperclassmen, which turned out to be a good deal. Being a fish in the Corps, they gave me some senior or junior privileges, and so on Sunday nights, going back to the dorm, it was easy to claim those junior or senior privileges and cut across the grass and get to the dorm quickly without being harassed. So it was always a lot of fun. Then a couple of years, I guess my junior year, I met my wife, Martha Nell, at the BSM at one of the Howdy functions when school started. And then she came to church. I met her in Sunday school the next Sunday, and so started hanging out together and eventually ended up getting engaged and getting married. So church has been a blessing to us. And we were graduated from college, got my master's degree here. We stayed here and continue to serve in the church. I remember we worked in when the church was moving out here to the Welch, we still were down on College Street, and so we created a second church in the high school, Consolidated High School across the street over there. And so we were having a church out here to try and gin up interest in this area, and so we would drop the kids off in the nursery at the main church, and we'd run out here and set up and help with the services and we had a nursery thing too here, I think we'd kept. So the interesting part is that we went to pick up the kids one Sunday and they told us that that was baby dedication day, and so they had dedicated somebody out of the nursery had taken Rob, our son, up and dedicated him while we were over at the other church working. So it's been a fun time here. And then we left in 1984, and we came back about
2010.
Around 2010, and so we're here now full time again. So it's been a long history with this church. I served on the building committee when we designed and built this church here, this building here. I was on the building committee. When I left in 84, we had completed the plans, but the construction hadn't started, so we did come back for the dedication when it was finished, and so that was a good time.
Hello, I am Martha Nell Chambers Evans, and I came in 1971, and my mother and I toured different churches looking for a church and settled on First Baptist. Now I have to say, when Stana, our daughter, came, she said, "Do I have to go to First Baptist?" I said, "No, you go where the Lord leads." And so she went to several churches and said, well, First Baptist is just home, because everybody knew her. And so she felt right at home. But I have to say, our college years were made so much richer with all of the professors, the Kings and the Sorensons, and so many that I can't even name now. But they just enriched our lives as followers of Jesus. And they were just such godly people, and we so enjoyed them. Malcolm enriched our lives also. He was just a godly man that was such a historian. Oh my goodness. And we got to be good friends. Kim was our babysitter for anything that we needed. We even took her to San Antonio once for a wedding that we had to attend. But he has such a wicked sense of humor. So when Stana was born, he went to the hospital thinking that we were still there. And he wrote a note that said, "Bob, this is the ugliest baby I've ever seen, Malcolm." And so he left it with the nurses and was leaving, and he realized somebody new was in our room. We were gone. So he had to madly rush back down to the nurses' station and get his note back. Frankly, I think it would have been funny had they gotten it. But anyway, back up. He, in 72, December of 72, he and Joyce and the children drove all the way to Rochester, Texas, which is in Haskell County. They came to marry us. And so then he dedicated Stana, and he dedicated Rob. You know him as Robbie. And then Buckner Fanning dedicated Savannah. And so at Trinity Baptist, we were in San Antonio by that time. But the church, we were allowed to grow as workers. We taught high school Sunday school class. We taught the high school class at night. We taught Aggies in the morning and the high school at night. Plus then we did our share of the nursery. And then I taught 2-year-old mission friends. I did a lot of the music. So we were allowed to grow and use our gifts that God gave us to bless others. So First Baptist College Station has just been such a blessing for us. And now Stana and Darren are serving. It just makes me so grateful that we're passing the faith along, as the Gaithers say. And I told my three that, they are all faithful followers, our three. And, that's just such a blessing to me. And that is because of First Baptist College Station. In fact, we were in San Antonio, and Stana accepted Christ as Savior. But she said, "I want to go home to be baptized." So we called Malcolm. He said, "Well, of course." So we came back to College Station, and Malcolm baptized Stana. So he was a tremendous blessing. And First Baptist College Station has been just a lifeline for us since 1969.